Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui est vous paye presse. L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué. T'as mon bien de moi avec moi au nous. En ce moment, on va battre au moins néo. On t'a dit t'as mon moyen. On s'est battu pour moi dit toi. Abela lokan yo. Kagbo so adu lo. Hey. Awaye. Ati o lo. Yao. Abela lokan yo. Níbi tó jọba yìí. Níbi tó yọba. Máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yo. Manager Gigi. Wọ́n pe jamais forcé o. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Nostra Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people. It drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
L'Américain pas vous t'as bien de moi avec au ndé asoma ku mo ba ti o mo nenwo mo tan di e ta mu mu yen mo sa ba de fo mo di pro e tuwa bela lo kan yo ka go so ju lo hey awaye ati o lo wa yao abela lo kan yo níbi tó jọba yìí níbi tó yọba máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yo. Manager Gigi wọ́n pe jamais forcé o si tu connais tu connais. L'animateur Choco Nostra Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Good evening, folks. Samson to La Bro Pub Radio. We're here again this evening. We say thank you, thank God. What we thought was happening didn't happen. Oh, yes. The savior of Liberia. He's still here. You're not going anywhere. Thank you, Witherspoon. Thank you. Thank you. Please, we pray you stay because you continue to tell us what is happening in our country. That's my own. Good. American government, y'all listen to me. Y'all want Lima Piggy and Ruya? Y'all come play around. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like it. I like it. Because this is just ridiculous. The people with the Witherspoon can tell them, you're stealing our tell the people out tell like people, you're stealing our tell. So the people telling him, so why people, I bet you the Americans are looking up there and say, they may stay. Good evening, folks. Samson told Labra Public Safety's Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again this evening. We want to come before you again to plead. Help us, give us strength, protect us, give us long life. Only you. No medicine, no bang. We trust in you because we believe in you. It's the light. We believe in you. It's the way. We believe in you. It's the success. Anyone that wants true success, come to Jesus Christ. Come to Jesus Christ. If you don't know Jesus Christ by now, try your best to know him. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Try. He's a great follower. He's a great father of all of us. He's here to protect us, and he will continue to protect us. My Lord, we ask again this evening as we come before you. We pray that the Republic of Liberia will be fine. We pray that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Whatever that is going on, whatever crisis that is happening, we put that crisis in your hand. And every time we put crisis in your hand, you help us, you solve it. So we're not concerned. We know you're going to solve it. We will wait for your turn. Whatever time you have for us is what the best time. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunities you give us every day. Thank you, my Lord. All we can say anytime, every day, we say thank you. Thank you for everything. My Lord, we ask that you bless the President of the Republic of Liberia, give him long life, whatever he touches, that it become gold in the interest of the Liberian people. Any door he touches, knock, it must be open in the interest of the Liberian people. We want to thank you. We want to thank you for all. Lord, we ask that you bless the host country of the United States. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks, Samson told Labra Pub Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in again tonight. We have a wonderful shows coming up. We are also thinking about changing, talking to the management to see if schedule can be changed from time to time, but we will see what we do. We want to thank you very much. Those of you that are listening, please share this show, share it to as many people as possible. We want to thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you for your support. So, quickly, let's get into Flanty Kofa and the government of the Republic of Liberia debacle. The government of the Republic of Liberia, from my perspective, is doing themselves a disservice. For some reason, I don't know how and when. Good evening, Troko. Thank you for turning in. We thank you very much, sir. Thank you for watching. I don't know this government. When it comes to Franti Kofa, I really don't know what their stand is. I will lay it out here for you tonight. So when Franti Kofa decided to contest for the speakership, he was going against Unity Party person they put forward, Rachel Kong. And we were on this platform arguing. Our argument was President Baka would do well by allowing Franti Kofa to be the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. We argued that with Franti Kofa being Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, Investor will see that indeed you have a government of inclusion. You have the investor and the international partner will see that indeed President Baka is open for business because he has allowed, when the people know Liberian politics, that he has allowed the opposition to be Speaker of the House of Representatives. And because of that, we argue that because of that, the international community will look at President Baka and say, yes, this is the man we want to do business with. Because by working with Flanty Kofa, who is well known to be in opposition, CDC, that was just defeated. And President Baka is saying, the people that are just defeated, I will allow that person, speaker, to be the person to be the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. And the international community knew, and we argue that that was a right move. And Flanty Kofa ran a campaign and defeated Richard Cohn. The same Richard Cohn who put out his left hand. Richard Cohn hand was put up by the Unity Party. Flanty Kofa won. And when Flanty Kofa won, I predicted here, and I said it here. You can go back and watch my tape. I said Flanty Kofa is not the person who is not a vindictive person. He doesn't have it within him. Everything Flanty Kofa has done that I know is always about Liberia. Any argument that you get into with Flanty Kofa, when Flanty Kofa used to come to the United States, we used to host him on Liberia Public. At that time was internet program. Flanty Kofa, with everything he was saying at that time, it was always about Liberia. How to improve the lives of Liberians. So I know. And plus, I worked with Flanty Kofa in Liberty Party for a long time. So I know. So the argument that I was making was not some sort of a sky in the pie type argument. And when Flanty Kofa won the election, exactly what I predicted was happening. He decided to work with this president. He decided to work with Unity Party. And say anything about Liberia that is good, I am for it. I'm an opposition, but I'm not opposition to the development, to any good developmental agenda of the Republic of Liberia. I am not opposition for that. I am opposition to any process, any kinds of policy that is not in the interest of the Liberian people. I will be in opposition for that. And so Flanty Kofa, from the beginning, laid his track down. Other people started questioning. So what if Honorable Flanty Kofa was truly an opposition speaker? Yes, he would say. He would say that I work with this president not because I want to be Unity Party member, but I work with this president because I want to see Liberians and the developmental agenda of this president that are in the interest of the Liberian people get full power. Now, other people argue, well, in the process they were taking here and there. Well, that's argument. It holds as well. I'm not gonna fault that. So, again, if you go on Flanty Kofa page today, 1.7 million people responded, and majority, over 90% of it was in favor of Flanty Kofa. These people, this government, under President Baka, in fact, other people are accusing President Baka of undermining the rule and law of the Republic. That is not good. That is not good. But here is the thing. You see, when we were in this year supporting President Baka, we were not in it being naive. Let me say this again. When I was campaigning, I used to say this. For me, there are three types of support as I see it. Other people might say four or, whatever, but I will name three. When you're doing something, you got support for people who believe in you. And they know you have the ability to do it. They will support you for that. There are people who will support you, have no belief in you. They don't believe in you, have no interest in your success. But what you're going after is what they have interest in. But they don't have interest in your ability to lead. Good evening, Jerry. Let me bring Jerry on. Jerry, good evening, please. Let me finish my tabata here.
Good evening. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. So they have interest in what you're going after, not because of you, but they support you. There are those who support you, not because they have interest in what you're going after, not because they believe in you, but they are supporting you because whatever it is that you're going against, they want to go against. And because they want to go against and they don't have the means to go against it, they come through you. So we, those of us that were here supporting President Mbaka, we were not stupid. We were not naive. We believe in the president. I'm not the Unity Party member. But all the years when you listen to President Mbaka interview, when you listen to his engagement with Liberian people, you will know that he meant well. That he wanted something good for this country. And we saw that. And we throw our weight around that. And we believe in that. Now, after the election and after the inauguration, President Mbaka, during the election, President Mbaka, most likely, I would say, every week, he will have a press conference where he will engage Liberia. And from the beginning of any press conference President Mbaka was having, we want every Liberian on board. We want Liberians to be part of this process because we cannot do it alone. We want all Liberians to be part of it. Now, if somebody is speaking like that, why will you not have trust in him? Okay? So if the people fool us, so be it. As long as I know that I was doing it from the bottom of my heart, that I believe in him. If he has other hidden agenda, that's up to him. I've done my work. I've done my part. And I'm still doing it. The issue with Flanty Kofa, as far as I see it, this government continues to make Flanty Kofa popular. In fact, if what we're hearing about President Weah, that they were going after Flanty Kofa because they think Flanty Kofa are getting, if that's the truth, then they miss the mark. Because Flanty Kofa is now becoming more popular. Yeah, it's the issue with the Flanty Kofa business people don't understand. Even Flanty Kofa himself. Yeah, people are accusing him of corruption. People he have served time here in the United States for X, Y, and Z. But that's not the issue right now. Many Liberians feel that this country has always thumped their nose against rule and law in the country. Always people believe that only those that are in power want the law to be in favor of them. Always. Liberians always say, you know who I am? Do you know me? That type of system. Always. Liberians believe that if you don't know anybody in the government or anywhere else, you can't get things done in your favor. No justice is coming towards you. So, when they saw this conflict was coming in and saw Flanty Kofa putting a huge resistance, say, I'm not moving. First, Liberians say, oh, okay, they got on their side now, let them debate. But when the people find out that Flanty Kofa is standing his ground, even me, I have asked him to resign, but he's standing his ground in the interest of the law of the Republic of Liberia. Do you truly believe that if Flanty Kofa was to leave tomorrow, that he will be broke? Do you believe that? Do you truly believe that if Flanty Kofa was to become a just ordinary member in the House of Representatives, that he would not be referenced on major concession, on major issue? You think people are going to go do business in the House of Representatives without Flanty Kofa handprint on it? Do you believe that? I don't believe that. But it's not about that. The executive, I'm not a lawyer, but we heard the good lawyer on Councillor Tewan Gonglo, who stood publicly and told the former Chief Justice that they were wrong publicly, and told the former Chief Justice in his face, because he believed in the rule of law. And the executive is quite aware that Franti Kofa has not been given the due process. You know that. Not only that, Franti Kofa was with the president. The president invited Franti Kofa to go on a trip with him when the tobacco started. Why was it that the president is unable to tell the entire, forget about partisan business, but tell the entire House of Representatives, you're making me see Franti Kofa and myself, we're here in Italy visiting and trying to do business here, and you have that kind of situation going. What do you want me to do? Franti Kofa wanted to leave. My inside source is telling me. Franti Kofa wanted to leave. The president told Franti Kofa, you can't leave. You and I came in these people's country as president and the speaker. If you leave right now, it will signal to the investor, it will signal to other people that yes, indeed, we have a huge crisis in Liberia for which you have to leave the president here. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. According to my inside source. I told you guys, since this thing started, I have not talked to Franti Kofa. I've not even texted him anything. Everything I say is through the medium. Franti Kofa and Samson were making, before the thing started, he was making plan anyway. You know, everybody must have made plan. Y'all know that one there. Okay? So the president told Franti Kofa everything is okay. They came back and the thing started escalating. The people were able to convince the president that the executive should not participate in the conversation. Knowing fully well. Why was it that the justice minister could not even step in and say, this is not constitutional? When they went to the Supreme Court, why was it the Justice Department would overlook Article 49? And now, Franti Kofa, as we've been asking him to do, he has done that. They came back, the Supreme Court ruled. These people decided they're not going to listen. And when people were predicting that, we all knew that. On top of it, the Justice Minister came out with the chicken fly through but night, happy night, whatever fly by night, Rudy. Is he the person to give an opinion? How will you give an opinion from the court? Your position should be clarification, not opinion. I'm not a lawyer, but that's okay. Now, Franti Kofa told us today that the executive told him they're going to take all his amenity away from his security after he told them that his life is being threatened. But because he's not resigning, they're going to take this stuff away from me. You think Franti Kofa broke? Franti Kofa, that Moria boy, you want to take it. If Franti Kofa was to die in a situation, that's what God said. His friends and relatives will bury him. But then it's on you. It's on you. The executive is on you. So Franti Kofa, as I said the last time, I was asking him, go to the court and put everybody on trial. The Supreme Court is now on trial. The executive is now on trial. The legislature are also on trial. All three branches. Because the Supreme Court now going to come back. They can do one or two things. Either reject Franti Kofa bill or information, whatever it is, completely and say, we don't want to deal with it. We're already done with that. We don't want to deal with it. Finish. Or they're going to come out and say, what we said is X, Y, and Z. Give clarification. Or come back and say, we have no clarification on this. That means the opinion of the Justice Department stands. That's okay. But then the higher court in the land has spoken. The issue will be closed. I hope. But here is the interesting thing here about this. What the executive and his people, President Waga and his people are playing with. You got people who were elected, just like just like any member of the majority black, and because of their action that was taken in the House of Representatives, on the floor of the House of Representatives, then the Constitution bar anybody to be punished for those kinds of behavior. But now you're going to use your rule to punish those people. Does it mean your rule supersede the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia? And what happened now if those people put together? So we're not getting out. They go to their offices. What are you going to do? You're going to force them from getting in. Executive, you're going to send police again to enforce the rule of the House of Representatives, not the Constitution. So the executive, you have put yourself in a bind that it's going to be difficult to get out of. You have put yourself so much. And in fact, executive, you're not put your foot in your mouth. I say so. How are you going to get a foot out of your mouth this time on this one? Because if those people like Dixon, Sibo, then they got constituency. And they decide we're going to go sit in our offices. What are you going to do? What you're going to do? You will block it. The only way you're going to block it if you bring police in there. And by you bringing police in there, you're not enforcing the rule of the Constitution. You are enforcing the law that is the rule of the House of Representatives. So, executive, are you going to tell us that the rule of the House of Representatives supersede the Constitution? That you, the executive, are now going inside the House of Representatives that you say you wanted to stay and enforce their rule. So you see what this thing heading? That's why people say, be man, honor the palm one tree, cannot allow the palm one tapping blade to get lost. You as an older person, you as a president, you as a father of the nation should be the last. Should be the last. Okay? And if you can't do that, then you find it difficult. Okay. Let me bring in Jerry. Jerry, good evening. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's my tabata. Let's hear from you.
Well, so many things going on in Liberia right now, and hopefully this is not just the ending. We're not even reaching midway of the whole saga that's going on. Been going on for what, going to 2 months now. It started from in the car. Morning was change hand. And I said on this show, I will say it again, what's going on in Liberia is white collar crime and organized crime. Until we can fight these things, we are not going nowhere. And we have to have a strong prosecutor. The Minister of Justice, I believe he spoke, but there are other decisions that he has to make people to be prosecuted. It doesn't mean you can't prosecute a representative, you can prosecute a senator. If there's a crime committed, if you believe there's a probable cause, you can arrest them. It doesn't mean they're not above the law. But here's the thing that I wanted to talk about today. The Supreme Court. Let's see how long it's going to take to come up with the information that the speaker have filed to see. Like we said, they had an option. They will say, you know what, we're not going to deal with it, or we're going to deal with it. We have spoken, and that's how it's going to be. And so what that means you're going to be chaotic, because here's the thing that's going on. The so-called majority bloc are anticipating to suspend, I think, 4 of the members or 8 of the members. Who are going to enforce our rule? Now, they're going to go back to the Supreme Court, and they will come and say, you know what, the Kuhn, as a speaker, you don't have that jurisdiction, or you don't have that responsibility, or you don't have the authority to suspend us. So this is just starting. This is just starting. And it's about time that the executive, like I said from the beginning, there's some time you got to twist hands. It was when you leadership, you got to twist hands. And you might not agree, but you got to twist hands. Look, I said it yesterday. Tay O'Neill and Ronald Reagan worked together, and they were successful. As much as liberal as Tay O'Neill was, so you and the speaker, you might have a difference with the speaker, the outgoing speaker or the incoming speaker. But at this time, if they're fragile now, it is very fragile to say, yeah. I mean, the possibility still exists. There should be some reconciliation. I think the president needs to reach out to Mr. Kufuor, the speaker, and let's let's do it in the interest of the country. Because they all will leave. There's a position they are holding. You're going to go back tomorrow at Wakai. He's not going to be president anymore. Konati Kufuor going to go back. He's not going to be speaker. After he turns there, he's not going to be speaker. You're going back as what? As Mr. Kufuor. So that's just a position. And I think there was a time to have a round table talk. Because it's not a good reflection on our country. But another share is also democracy, to see how it goes.
Right.
Another side is a democracy. And see how it goes.
Thank you, Jerry. I think you're quite correct. I think, but all I can say is that it doesn't look good for this government to be so fast. The first thing you did, you allowed a member of your cabinet to go to sit before the majority bloc without even court being involved. So people saw you already, accusing you. And then to do this, now you're threatening to remove the security protection from Speaker Kufuor. Well, he has not been removed. He hasn't resigned. So the Supreme Court ruling does not say that the majority bloc has they have a right to do what they're doing. So this is going to be a bloody face, a bloody nose for the executive. There's no question. However way is in, it's going to be a bloody nose for the executive because the international community is watching. And what President Waka has yet to be involved, truly involved, not these one meeting here and there. You have a meeting with Franti Kufuor to say resign, according to the report, and Franti Kufuor is saying, no, I'm not going to resign. So for you to have that kinds of meeting, so you have also recognized that these people's action is illegal. Because if it was legal, you're not going to go through the back door to try to ask Franti Kufuor to resign. If you knew this action of the bloc was legal, you will enforce it. You will go through the Justice Ministry to enforce that. But because you knew that their action is illegal, and so you want to say Franti Kufuor to resign, and Franti Kufuor is saying no. Yes, well, I keep saying this here. If these people were smart, but they're afraid because they don't have the kahuna. Go on underneath Franti Kufuor. Not this time. I know it's late, but the Supreme Court hopefully will clear this out. Sit on Franti Kufuor. Submit your whatever you have. Franti Kufuor at this point don't want to be speaker. Believe me. Whether he wins the case or not, he will not want to be speaker. So Franti Kufuor wants the process for the future. And that's why on his post today, 1.something thousand or million people were 1.something thousand were watching, were responding today. Okay? 1.7 thousand. 1.7 thousand. That means 700 responded today. And 90% of it, I went through that. 90% of it was in his favor. Anybody that write negative thing about Franti Kufuor, your whole page, they will be costing you all day. Liberia are now, especially the young Liberians, are looking at this thing and say, oh, the old guys are coming back again. They don't want to give us the future that we deserve. They don't want to give us the opportunity to have a good future. Because by you violating the rule like this, it's unacceptable to many Liberians. And President Baka told us he came to rescue. This is not what he thought he was. We didn't believe you were going to do this. Rachel Kuhn, why can't President Baka tell Rachel Kuhn, no, you can't do that? You went face to face, you were defeated. I don't want you representing Unity Party in this type of fashion as Unity Party speaker. This is not good for President Baka. In the international community, among his friends, this is ridiculous. For you to have a speaker from your party to come through the position, through the back door. It's unacceptable. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of? You face the most popular person in Liberia as president. You facing and defeated that person because people believe in you. People believe that you can do the job. You defeated CDC in your own backyard. Not by much, but you defeated the president, President Weah. The most popular Liberian ever, and he's still popular. That speaker position you were defeated in because you said Rachel Kuhn was going on from Unity, then you want the speakership anyhow. What Franti Kufa has now, what Rachel Kuhn would do for you that Franti Kufa was not doing for you? When was the last time Franti Kufa stood in public to reject your request? When was the last time Franti Kufa stand up and said they want your opposition? I'm not going to do that. Okay? He hasn't done any of those things. So now you going to go and do this. Same situation here with Cummings. During the CPP, Cummings is a stranger. He's a stranger to Liberian politics. Waka, what's his name? My own sister, Bility, and what's his name? Bernard Ure. These are seasoned politicians, Liberian politicians. Cummings came in, believed that these people were going to play a good game, truthful game. Cummings believed in them, trusted them. They backstabbing like nothing else. President Baka was involved. So I asked Cummings here one time when he came to Sacramento. I said, were you able, when you got involved and trusted these people, were you able to verify that these people were trustworthy? And nothing good you said. The only thing Cummings was telling me, he said, when I give my trust to somebody and you abuse it, when I take it from you, you can't get it again. But he trusted Baka because for me, the way I look at it, he felt that President Baka, the years of experience and the fact that he been in government so long, that there will be no way that he will be tricky. And that was the wrong thing to do, to trust like that. And so when he went to the CPP business, he trusted them, believed in the system. In fact, if you go through the CPP book, Cummings even was expecting to have a runoff, to have a primary. You and Baka will get primary in Liberia? And Baka will allow you to get primary in Liberia? It wasn't going to happen. But the fact that Cummings was not, to many Liberians, they're considering as foreigner, as far as I see it. But this time around, when Cummings come back, it's going to be different subject matter. You see? So for us to truly support the president, because we believe in him, I still believe in him. But for people to play politics, dirty politics like that, and I don't blame them either, because Flanty Kofa myself, I say, yeah, myself, I'll make it blow anyway. I'll make it blow. Because I'm not into some of the yaman that were going on. I don't like it. So yeah, myself, make it flower too. Anyhow. But that's beside that friend flower is different. So for him to be People they threaten to take away his how do you call it, his security detail after he told you, and you guys verify that yes, indeed, there's a threat on his life. If God say Flantikova come home, Flantikova, anything happen to him, the friends and relatives will bury him. But then it will be on the hand, his blood will be on the hand of this government. Simple as that. But what they don't recognize right now is that Flantikova is being popular. The people are making Flantikova popular. And if the Supreme Court comes and comes and says, well, you know what, we don't have anything to say, we say what we want to say already. We know. If that's the case, I would predict most likely that's the road they're going to take. Because if Supreme Court cannot, because they're all Kabul, they're all in this, like you say, white collar crime or whatever, they're all in it together. So blue, the executive, they pass in front of Supreme Court now and finish making that kind of ruling. If how do you call it? If the Supreme Court come back and rule differently, what does that make the executive look like? The executive pay Supreme Court. The woman were on the other time, they say they don't got enough money. And President Baga promised to give them more money. You think they're going to turn out more money down for Flantikova business? To embarrass the president? So we know. But like I said, the Supreme Court is on trial. The executive is on trial. The legislature is on trial. This thing here, the worst of it ain't come yet. Those people that they're threatening suspension, those people that they're threatening expulsion and things like that, they will go back to their seat in their offices. What are you going to do? Executive, are you going to now protect the majority black by going to enforce the rule, send your police in the House of Representatives and say the people can't enter? Those who were elected, are you now the Capitol, Jerry will say Capitol Police, now you're enforcing Capitol Police, you're enforcing a rule of the executive and not the Constitution. This thing here, either way, President Baka and people will get bloody face, bloody nose on this one. There's nothing to run after it. Let's hear from you, Jerry.
Well, like my sister Esther can say, you give me a headache. But here's the thing. The president and
well, you take your own Tylenol tonight because tonight I'm not holding back. Take your own Tylenol. Esther can be taking Tylenol. You can go ahead and take your Tylenol tonight.
You know, you say president hand gonna be no. The president, listen, excuse me. The president politics is a sport. It's a physical sport, but just that you're not contacting one another. That's all. That's the whole thing. You get in the arena, and you have to be smart to be able to survive. But here's the thing I want to talk about. Kofa. He had bent his rope.
You come and use your police turn here, this rope, and all. Just say just mean a real. Don't gonna use the police turn. He bend it. Just say they take power away from all that. What we can understand, please.
All right. They don't take all his supply from him. They take an escort car from him. They don't take everything from him. So where is he? So he just a wounded man now, you know, naked in the street. He's just naked in the street. But there's sometimes you have the responsibility as an individual. We all have our responsibility. We all into politics, and we are in the spotlight, and we also into the community. Yes, sometimes you have to make a sound decision. What is in there for me? I understand your point. You have to make a sound judgment and say, you know what, This is what I am fighting for, the cause. Just cause. I am fighting for the cause that I want the government or the legislature or the first branch of government to be straightened, and we want no corruption. We want to clean the whole system. And there's sometimes you go headwind, like I said, as a pilot, as a former pilot, you go headwind, and when you go headwind, guess what? You burn more gasoline, you burn more fuel, because the headwind is pushing you back. And it's about time for him to sit down with his lawyers, whoever advising him. Where are we going with this? What is our goal? You know, anything you do in life, you must have a goal, what you want to achieve. Is Liberian people going to remember him tomorrow because he fought the system? Or Liberian people going to remember him because he was speaker? Well, that would be left for the historian for them to write what they want to write on his, or discarding in the law, you know, the speaker versus.
Let me bring in Terry here.
The speaker versus. The speaker versus. The speaker versus. Oh, no,
yeah, we go. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for straightening it up. I say I need to straighten my own.
The speaker. So he had a, and the thing is, whatever we do, someone who in the public arena, it also affect your family. Okay, they affect your family. And he had his wife, I believe, if he married.
Oh, yeah.
He had his children. He had his brothers and sisters. So all these things that drag you because nobody's going to be talking about your brothers and sisters and you'll be happy. So it's about time for him to sit down. Like the late John Lewis said, say you want to fight or go fight. Okay, so for me personally, it's about time, you know what? I will resign. Let's wait for what the Supreme Court say tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and he make a decision.
Thank you.
It's rather to be a living coward than to be a dead one. Like you said. Like you said, he's not going to. The man's a lawyer. He already have established a law firm. So even if he leaves the speakership tomorrow, that's one of the best things can happen to him. He can go to the law school there. Student come into a law firm and start practicing. And you still making contribution to the Liberian people. You still making contribution to the community. Because people will be, as a former speaker, student will come from the law school and they go practice law, and he will be represented in the courts. And what law firm you coming from? From Kofa Law. People respect it. And there are some students who want to go into his honor his leadership at his law firm to be want to practice law, to do the internship. So he still have that. Look, there's a lot of things ahead of him. Personally, I mean, we can come here. I want to go into politics, but I'm not going to go. I want to go on a personal issue. I know the second round. That's what I will come to in the politics. What happened to him? Thank you.
Thank you. Let me bring in Terry. Terry, what happened to Elijah? I was going to make a comment about your share in the background. Because your share really matched the background tonight. I like that. That's the beauty of the LPR. Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful. I think.
Okay.
So here we go. You see the shade in the background, the flower over your hair over there. That flower, going to come into
Honorable Bacon, the chief analyst or security analyst.
Thank you. But Terry, the flower part over your head, be careful because Evie will be here and start shaking your hand, and then the flower pot start going and looking for your hair. Thank you, Terry, for joining us on your mind.
No, man. I get them for every time, my man.
What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, so many things. You know, there's a scripture, there's a familiar scripture in the Bible that is, I think, in Ecclesiastes 9:4. It says, "Why is a living dog better than a dead lion?" A living dog is better than a dead lion. That's a parable. That's almost like a parable from the wisest man that ever lived, which was Solomon. You know, I think the situation for the honorable man has come to a close. Because whether if he resigns or not, he is being looked at now to be a complete, he's not a speaker, that according to what they are doing now. And I doubt that the Supreme Court, from my opinion, that the Supreme Court will go further to clarify or explain what they said. I'm very much in doubt. Reason being, there are so many things factoring in. All right, there are so many things factoring in. The budget is being discussed. The Senate I've already concurred with the executive. The executive have moved to start retrieving and taking details from the honorable man. That's why I said a dead lion, a living dog is better than a dead lion. So, you know, so whether if he resigns or not, as far as the Senate, the executive, and the majority black, they have concluded in their mind that he have been removed as a speaker. So, or that is the terrible thing that is playing out here. And the reason I say I doubt that the Supreme Court will go further is simply because I do want to believe that the Justice Minister will come up publicly to make such statement without concurring or corroborating with the Supreme Court, and without the Senate concurring on the same day that the Supreme Court is not aware of all these things going on in the country. So if the Supreme Court is going to give clarity to say that we agree that, the Justice Minister interpreted the court ruling wrongly and blah, 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 that would be like putting gas in the fire that could cause an insurrection. And I doubt that the Supreme Court is going to do that. I think with the Justice Minister coming out to say what he said, even though I don't support the way he came out to say what he said, there is more calm in the country. If you look at around the Capitol building today, if you saw the calmness, there have been. This is what I said the last time on the show. I said what the Chief Justice did was a temporary problem solver for a future problem causer. So what they have done now, they have set a ground for future disaster, even though they have created calm temporarily. So in my view, in my opinion, is that the Supreme Court will not further explain in detail because they fear that anything they say now on the contrary will create an insurrection. And the budget is before them. The Supreme Court got a huge stake in that budget. That is going to be discussed. They're not going to jeopardize that. So in my mind, like what you said earlier on, they're going to leave it. But what my attention is drawn to, Labor, is the CDC keep putting the foot in the mud. And I know Evans will come again to lash at me, but I got to say it. The leg of, what his name? Or Tomofala. The aspect of you suspended the man first. Then you just want to leave it like that. Why you went to expel the man? The only button on John Code. You see, that's why I say CDC is lacking strategy. And these are the people that tell you that they want to come back in 2029. Right? Tomofala is your only major or political contender in Lofa County. You need Lofa County. Tomofala did a very good job in Lofa County in 2023. So if you fire Tomofala now, you expel the man from the party, who going to help you? Who going to help you to solidify your base in Lofa County? Is that a Jefferson Koji? That Jefferson Koji and Finabono going to help you in Lofa? So I don't know what they're calculating. I don't know how they calculate.
Finabono from Aluka Rewaji.
Oh yeah, that's true. She from River G. I think that Jefferson Koji from Lofa. Yeah, you right.
So all the Lofa,
So
all
how
the
you
Lofa
going?
boys live in CDC. All the top Lofa people live in
Yeah.
CDC.
What you need? Tomo Fala now. If you take Tomo Fala out, then Lofa County gone, and you already struggling to gain ground in Nima County. So if those two counties are not under your control, how are you going to win the election? How you ready?
So let me
One of the things
you right there, Terry. I want you to address before I go back to Jerry. I want you to address the issue of the suspension of those lawmakers. Do you think the lawmakers were allowed to be suspended?
Well, the lawmaker, they can't do anything about it because the suspension was taken in plenary that have been, how you call it thing. The problem is your big man, the people took the big man, the lion. They have already shot the lion. The lion is, I don't know if the lion is wounded or dead.
Yeah,
But the
that's
lion
why
now,
I ask you. You think no people were allowed, people that Marvin Code then will sit down home and allow the suspension to take effect and then talking about expulsion and things like that to expel them?
liberal. If the executive concur with the majority black to not give Mervyn Cole his incentive, his monies that he used to be receiving, and all those monies that all those representatives and senators supposed to be receiving, definitely it's obvious that they would not have the strength to fight back. And CDC is not helping them. CDC as a political institution is not backing them fully. So that is where they're going to struggle. But like most of those guys, I don't see why Richard Kuhn is suspending the people. He's just going to be causing more chaos. And I think he's doing it because he fears that with these people being in the plenary, there's a possibility that his position is in jeopardy. So I heard, that guy may not even stay more than 6 months in our place. Nobody will get rid of him.
No, but this is what I'm going to say on that. Then I'll go to Jerry on this here. These people that are being suspended and threatened expulsion. First of all, they will not take suspension. They will go to their offices. Because first thing is they believe that your action is illegal anyway. So you cannot use an illegal action for them to first they don't agree with you, and you can't take illegal action to suspend them. They were elected. Show me in the rule book that you're going to use, what rule book number you're going to use to suspend them, number one. And secondly, if you suspend them, that's based on the lawmaker, the House of Representatives rule. Who's going to enforce it? They don't have, as like Jerry would say, they don't have Capitol Police. Who's going to enforce the rule? You're going to take national police to go enforce the rule?
Right.
Terry, this ain't over yet.
No, it's not over yet. I agree with you. There's going to be more problem than because Richard Kuhn, first of all, I doubt his leadership. I doubt that he know how to lead.
But Terry, your own one of the panelists on LPR here, Madam Kotu told us that the other day. She said she knows Richard Kuhn real well.
The worst thing that President Boga is playing with, Richard Kuhn knows money. He's an accountant. He knows how to steal money because he knows money. So, Jawa, you were analyzing the other day, the gashing that will be in our house will not be small gashing. All those centage, those small money, those cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Most people don't know how to collect it from in the budget. Richard Kuhn is a financial expert. So he's going to deal with that budget. Even he will, an extension of money taking will be even more than what you need, because these guys know, they understand figures, they understand numbers, they know money business, and the position you're in as a speaker.
So I think yeah. Let me throw in the other market range into this. Then I'll go to Jerry. Jerry, I'll come to you here. But let me throw the other market range into this. If Jeremiah Kuhn intent is, because I don't believe President Obama is going to seek re-election anyway. So if Jeremiah Kuhn intent is to throw his hand. If President Biden will put his hand up, Jeremiah gonna step into this here and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Because right now, Unity Party and President Biden don't look good out of this thing at all. From
But they're never
meaning
going to look
writing,
good. Until with the next 5 years, that's going to hang over them like a dark snare.
They don't look good. They don't look good. Look at
Here's
the thing here. I saw today on Public Work website. I don't agree with the from the engineering perspective. I don't agree with what is happening. But they're building their quota is coming from Second Pier going to Tapeta. We're not even talking about it. This is softening the information about their developmental agenda. The entire thing, even on Spoon, they don't even talk about how much development that is going on in the country. They're not talking about it.
They're not talking about it, but the impact gonna have impact on the people in those areas, and that is the major thing. But the thing here, an LBS boss, instead of him talking about he talking Tabata running behind journalists there and all of the kind of thing to be.
I don't know. I haven't been on their show for a very long time. So
the men were on Philip Brown today. But what I want to say to you, Labor, is that Jeremiah Kuhn, he have option if they're able to get Tomo Fala on their side. That the way CDC dropping Tomo Fala, if they can win Tomo Fala.
Tomo Fala home is CDC. When this thing settle, Tomo Fala going back
I
home.
agree.
And then when you put your luck with, you say you're gonna go get Tomo Fala will get you Huawei. When the whole thing settle, Tomo Fala going back home. Tomo Fala and Joe, we are the good friend. Let me hear from you, Jerry, please.
I agree.
Whew. Where do I start from?
The Tabata play, eh? The Y'all go like my Esther can do. Go take your talent off.
Well, yeah. Let me address one thing. You people talk first. Now look at CDC. Knowing CDC without I know. The first thing CDC, they always, rather than to sit and do a critical analysis or critical thinking, they always make a hasty decision. Here's the reason. If you check CDC history, how many times their leadership have all been expelled? These are some of the things that made some out of this CDC today. Geraldine Doe, boom. There's other means to discipline somebody if they go contrary to the thing. Whatever rules you might have. I was the co-chairperson on grievance committee. When Geraldine Doe said no, we cannot expel her because she's a sitting Senate punishment that we can punish her for certain reason. It didn't go well. Mr. Todman, Winston Todman, okay, he was a standard bearer. 2015 or 2011. He was a standard bearer with Josh Weir. After that, they expelled Winston Todman. Then it comes to the first standard bearer, Mr. Randall Johnson. So the list go on. And what have you achieved? All those that you expelled. What have you achieved? So if you look at the statistics in the data and say, look, we expel people, this is what we achieved. And this is what we accomplished. Now, the deputy speaker. So they don't just expel people, little men, but they hierarchy people. That's what they go after. And guess what? It shows by reflection. Some of us say, you know what? I can't deal with this. Yeah, even though he bring rank and he say he want to support the outstage of the speaker. Now they expel him. The other disciplinary action can be taken. But that CDC problem, I just want to throw out there because the space. So I just want to show some genesis. that CDC. So I just want to somehow we are banning CDC for war in CDC.
Jerry, your heart is always with CDC.
No. Wait. Listen, Mr. Todd, let me say this. 1992, when Bill Clinton and Bob Dole, may his soul rest in peace, he said something, and I stick with that principle. He said, "My war is my bond." When they were doing the debate, he said, "What do you have to offer to America?" He said, "My war is my bond."
Who was that?
Bob Dole.
Yeah, okay.
Bob Dole from Arkansas. Not from Arkansas, Missouri. Okay?
Cancer.
Yeah. My war is my bond. If I said no, I'm done. I don't have to go by the CDC. I don't need anything for CDC. CDC ain't owe me nothing. I don't owe them nothing. I'm done. My word is my bond. That's what you have in life. The only thing you have in life is your word. When you say this is it, stand by it. The same thing we're going with Mr. Kofa right now. He's standing by his principle. I know sometimes it's difficult, but no, I'm not going by the CDC. If I wanted to go by the CDC, I was chairman for 12 years for CDC. I'm not going back there again. I'm done. So let's forget about that one. But yes.
But if CDC come back in 2029, you'll still be done?
I'm done. The CDC were in power. I come and join
CDC.
Go ahead. If I want a position in CDC,
Wow.
If I want a position in CDC government,
I know Mr. Sue will cut the part tomorrow.
If I want a position,
no, you're not going to do anything with
No. Listen, I want to listen very well. I want to listen very well. Listen very well, because I know they always say, "Oh, Jerry, you want to go?" No, I'm going back to CDC. I'm done with CDC. Let that marriage over.
They don't want you.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. Thank God said they don't want me. I don't want them there. So that's the whole thing. So I don't need it. I don't want it. If I want a position in CDC, I could have gotten a position in CDC. But that's not my point. Here's the point. I just want to say these are mistakes they always made in the leadership, in the hierarchy. But the thing I want to say here, I want to go back to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court had to make a strong decision. Because as stated already, they want to suspend the full representative. And I think they want to expel them. What constitutional right do you have? As it is right now, you say majority black or whatever you are. You can't even get the 49 people to take from office. So what power are you going to have now and say, you know what, we're going to expel the people? You didn't even get a 2/3 majority. You need 49. Or maybe you need 51. That means, you are over the top. You can't get 49. Where are you going to get that 49 people to say, yeah, we expel the people? Then we're going to go back to the Supreme Court again. So it is time to bring maturity in a room. This is overdue. It is time to bring maturity. This is not in the best interest of our country. It's about for us to have some civil discourse, to have a serious discussion on the issue, because it is not going to end today. It's not going to end with now. Let me go further. I think 3 or 4 weeks from now, or 6 weeks from now, the president is supposed to give the State of the State address. Where? Honor who? Honor who? Because the speaker, he's supposed to preside when the president is coming into the chamber. Okay? You don't even have the majority. So how is it going to work? So now, okay, let's say Konanti group, let's say, hypothetically, let me just throw it out there and say, you know what, Mr. President, you're going to address the nation because there's no quorum. Let's just look at it from a different perspective. And say the president, we don't have complete quorum, so for that reason, the president cannot address the nation. Where are we going? I mean, something for us to think about.
Mr. Bato, you're sleeping or what? You're sleeping?
Why?
The Senate, The people have already agreed that the majority black is planetary.
But you see, here's the thing, Terry. This is how law is passed, how the law is built. Because all the thing we're doing, it began law in our country.
So thank you.
That's the fear I have.
Terry.
So everything. Hold on, sir. Can I get a few minutes? 1 second, please.
Please go ahead.
10 seconds. Everything we say here, with the Supreme Court making all these decisions and the legislature doing this thing, that's a part of our law. It became our law because once you go to the court and the court make a decision, it became our law. Let's look at the case. Tom Groby versus the same here. Tom Groby versus Ile Gongo. What did the Supreme Court say? Tom Groby won the election, and she went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court spoke, and that was it. So why we can't honor the same thing? Even though we're individual, but it's the same law. So it's a precedent. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this whole thing here, the Supreme Court, I want to say because of the eyes of the international community, the Supreme Court most likely might say, we did it already, we don't want to touch it again. But I would change now, I would talk both sides of my mouth. I think because of the eyes of the international community, knowing fully well that their decision will not clear, people on Liberia were fighting over it, Supreme Court might come back and surprise all of us and try to clarify this thing here. And most likely they will say, nobody won. We asked you to go back to status quo. And you refuse to go to status quo. And if that happened, my concern now is this. And Terry did mention, I mentioned earlier, but Terry came and amplify on that. The money, the budget, everybody depending on the Christmas coming. If the people say you'll go back to status quo, that budget not going to pass on time for people to get paid. The executive will go over there, the justice minister will go back to argue. We cannot let these people hijack the economy of the country. Once he makes that statement, that whole issue will be wrapping around the national security. Because if you're talking about hijacking the economy of the country, you're talking about the national security apparatus not getting paid. You're talking about the army people, the police, the security, whoever, they're not getting paid. And the Supreme Court themselves most likely will not get paid. So this is what I think more. Another thing that I think might happen is this. They'll say, okay, we hear you from the cover. Stay where you are. Let the people stay where you are. You'll come back. They will find out how long the budget is going to take to pass and things like that. They will tell them you'll come back. They will not say after the budget passes, but they will tell them exactly the calendar date that the budget have already been passed. And then they will say you'll come back at this time. By this time, the people are doing their homework, finding out on the ground, talking to the finance minister when they think the budget business is going to be done. They're talking to, most likely, the Supreme Court now, most likely talking to the majority black. When you think you're going to get the budget business finished? So they can kick the can down the road until the budget passes. And then they will come back. When they come back, they will soak it to the majority black. Because the budget finished passing, what y'all do? Man, you get out of here. Like, bro, funny thing, it's not easy. But on a very serious note, Amara Conner made some sliding statement on his page. And I thought it was very, very much interesting. It showed the lack of leadership of my own sister. This is why she most likely might not even win Grand Bassa again. And this is why most likely if she come back to say she wants to run for the presidency of the Republic of Liberia, she's not going to win. She showed poor leadership. Amara Conner said, when the president brought the resolution, when they brought a resolution for the war crime court, the pro temp asked member of the judiciary to consult lawyers and give recommendation to the Senate. And they did that. He said, this time around, we did not do that. We did not seek external advice. We decided to vote on issue that is affecting the lower house, that most likely might affect our own upper house. We did not seek outside advice, and we did not seek the people to form a committee to look into it. Instead, they were asking to vote. Basically, what he's saying was the voting process itself was emotional. The voting process itself was they've already taken side. So he said the fact that the Justice Ministry have already gave the opinion or clarity, that's fine. He said we should move on. And he appealed to Kufa to move on. But he's not happy with this at all. It does not show the leadership ability of my own sister. That doesn't look good. I thought she was going to stand her ground and say, okay, we're not just going to follow, we are not followers. We're not going to just follow the executive explanation. Let's hear from other legal luminaries in the country who are also going to be affected by this ruling. Let's hear from them. I thought perhaps, this is the difference between this country and places like Liberia. Because if it was this country, they would call lawyers to testify, to talk about this. And seek, and in the process of testifying, you're also seeking advice from those experts, people who consider themselves experts in a different field. But you're going to put your hand up. Who's side with the majority? Yeah, I want the majority. What is your reason? What is your reason? What is the legal reason that you're going to side with the majority? What is it? You say, the Justice Minister cannot give an opinion upon the opinion based on the opinion of the Supreme Court. The Justice Minister can clarify, but he said he's not calling it clarification. He called it opinion.
Right.
So how can you give an opinion from the Supreme Court? An opinion is not clarification. No. It's a BS. And so I think this thing is not over yet. And the lawmakers, some of them are very intelligent. They are finding these loopholes that are coming from the executive. And the loopholes going to be utilized. It just take one or two people to make serious noise in our country, and everything going to go scot-free.
But Amara Kone did not say whether if he voted for or against. You mute yourself. You muted yourself, Labour.
No, I think if you read that, you can infer that yes, indeed, he voted for it. But begrudgingly, he was not happy with it.
That's why I think he voted for
it. But he because he did that again, money involved. Not that he took money.
You understand it like brain politics.
Not that he took money. Not that he took money. That's not what I'm saying. But the budget. Something he even made. This is the statement he made. He said, "We came here to make sure we help our brothers and sisters in Bapolu." He talked about his county that he's representing, and that it's his responsibility that the people in Bapolu are taken care of. He's not going to throw that thing around for resistance and become an overnight resistance as well. No, he's not going to do that. So most likely he voted for it, but he's not happy with it.
Yeah, okay.
But how can you not be happy with? Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Oh, there's something called in the rule of Sunday, filibuster. You can filibuster the whole thing.
Who could have done that?
Where he needs the gentleman from Babolu.
Jerry, we're talking Liberian politics.
But you see, Mr. Tool, these are the things. That's why the country is not moving forward. Believe in something. Much what Mr. Where he needs the speaker is doing. He had not been given due process. Do I like him? Of course, I like him, the procedure he's going. That's what the law is all about. Don't be afraid. The only thing I do not agree with the speaker is because what happened to him, his family have been dragged into it, his life is threatened, and so it's now for you to recover it and say, okay, these are the issues I want to. But you know what? It's only called extra factor. That's what the gentleman from Babuli is doing. Extra factor. Right. Oh, Akio yesterday, so now they bring him into trial because now we will make it retroactive. No, he's making it retroactive. He should have stand on the floor and say, this cannot happen. I will stand here. I will speak for the boss. I will for the boss. You know, now that today you want to be Jesus Christ.
No, but Jerry, I think he has a good point.
Yeah, no, listen, Mr. Toh, you as a sitting senator, nobody put guns in your head.
Yeah, but you
on the floor,
to fight another fight.
No, listen. You are immune to say anything on the floor. When you're on the floor, you have freedom to say without prosecution.
Okay. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and put a number out. Those of you that have the opportunity.
You will not agree with me, but you are a sitting senator. That's why you get.
I agree.
Say anything on the floor. The only thing you can take on to the Senate, but you can say anything you want to say. But yes, just one thing I want to say. We don't follow thing. I think he was the same person that went to break into the office. They took all his laptop, or I think that's the same.
Right. Folks, the number is out 916-533-2048. Terry, go ahead. Oh, Jerry, are you done?
Mr. Bacon.
Well, go ahead. Terry says
okay, Terry, go ahead.
Mr. Bacon, do you even know that the Abbott chairman that is here on judiciary did not even vote against? He abstained. Okay. I heard that he abstained. The two senators from Grand Coup County, where Fonati come from, Abbott that is on judiciary, that is responsible for judiciary in the Senate. He's a chair on judiciary in the Senate. He was the one I've been saying that Fonati was not treated fairly. I heard that he abstained. And if you abstain, then how can you say that you are supposed to vote against, but he abstained? So this whole thing, all the guys in the house, Mr. Liberal, is all about the money. Those guys then going there in our house to go fight for the constituents and the county. They're not going to sacrifice the county and the constituent for you because of the rule of law. No, they're not going to do that. The 2025 budget is loaded. Everybody's salary inside. All the people incentive inside, the county development fund inside. You think they're going to delay the budget because of Fonati don't want to resign and the majority black suffering?
Will come to you. Let Terry land, then I'll come to you.
They're not going to do that. They're going to make sure that they think so. That is why those guys just passed it. They just agree that we'll work with it. We'll work with the Zuni.
Caller, go ahead, call your name, where you're coming from, and what you're calling for.
Yeah, good evening. This is Breakable Power.
Where are you calling from?
DMV.
Why are you calling?
Mr. Toh. I know you come and confess one day. You can't yourself. I know you know what you said.
Why you say who?
You know.
About what?
What you said.
About what?
About
what?
About John CDC.
About big. Do I know that somebody that was local?
Listen.
Do I know that somebody that was John CDC?
Listen. Since the day when I show you, I've never said this thing. And that tells you that yes, the government putting power the wholehearted outside that. So you have to say that. Listen. I watched a show. I see my sister Fatima that when she play and say in that President Boga, the people around here. My sister, we're gonna know that. Listen. We said that old man will not correct person to be in the country. Look at what is happening. Even that way, who support them? No. Even you can hate a party. What is happening in that country? You suspect you check it, impeachment, put the speaker. You want to take a speaker job on the man. The party saying the party leader, the lawmaker, he's suspending them. Why they get so you can go back? All these things happen, you can go back to the city, but your friend, you can go back. I really don't understand it. You bring more hate in the country is already developed. They bring more hate. Okay, what is that? But you guys just look at it to be like, fun. It's not fun. What is happening in that country is beyond what you're saying. It's getting more worse and worse.
Okay.
You don't understand it.
Thank you.
The president, look, the small know the president will not have the correct decision making skill. So it's difficult for him. Nobody will tell me, say, Baga, now I want to do it. Everything that happens in that country is Baga.
Okay.
Baga, everything.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
But let me say this, Mr. Tool. He said something which, of course, it is true. Was the road construction that going to the southeast or look. Let's put it into a context of history. Tubman was president for what? 27 years. What he do? He would take the yacht, go through Riverside on the sea, and go there. If he ever been to Maryland, he land in Maryland, from Harper to Plebo, it's not paved. Okay? From Maryland, from Harper to Plebo, it's not paved. You pass Plebo, before you turn left to go to Tubman Farm from the main road to go to the farm, he paved it. Okay? George Weah.
But because he usually travel with ship.
But that's my point I'm making. How many presidents are come from the southeast? Let me get this. President Tubman, George Weah, the former vice president, the Green. Yeah? So most of our presidents, they are notorious about that. Look at Tubman. Tubman, which is 35 miles outside Monrovia. Look at it, the Oil River. How big is Oil River? You got what are they playing? White Plain, Deechville, what are they playing? Bentor. Well, anyway, Bentor is big. There where the quota stop. If you go to the other settlement, they are not. So it is always the case. Yeah, Mr. Bokai. I'm gonna give some credit to Mr. Via between Sanicole and Kanta. It's paved. I was there. 35 miles. So it paid. So these presidents, they are notorious about not even fitting the places. I just want to put it out there because Tubman was over there for 7 years. Green was vice president. George Weah was 6 years, and the place stayed the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let me take the number down. That will be closing here very early tonight. Terry, yes, let's hear from you.
Well, I think so far so good. Liberia is a country wherein you got to understand the politics. Every country, I believe, have a traditional politics. Like I was saying today, democracy is not the Liberian or African type of governing process. It's a European type of governing process. And even in Europe and America, they struggle to maintain it. Look at in America. The way how democracy have been looked at in America to be so great. We still see presidents.
Hold on 1 minute,
yeah,
Terry. Go ahead. Finish your point, my brother. The color just hold on when Terry Land will come to you. Go ahead, Terry. Finish.
We still see presidents are being accused in America of rigging elections. In a country where democracy is the order of the day. Think about if that can happen in America, what do you think will happen in places like Liberia that is struggling and is suffering from poverty, abject poverty, and all of that? The condition will be worse. So Liberia have a traditional politics that is not 100% correct, but we are still evolving into the form of democracy that is actually supposed to be the right way to do this. But I think we have come a long way.
Thank you. Caller, let's hear from you. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, good evening, Mr. Tom. How you doing?
Thank you, David. Go ahead, sir.
thank you for the show tonight. The issue with the speaker going here, the politics in Liberia, Mr. To, sometimes we can.
David, David, let me ask you, why can't you join us live sometime?
The time the show can be on at the time I begin my shift by 5 o'clock in the evening.
Cancel your shift. Let's talk about Labra issue.
He's gonna pay you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
The Nigerian politics, to talk about it, so now it can fuck you more. But what key information is coming out and will come on, we will get it later. The reason why this is going on from the president's side, why for the T group are having meeting the entire meeting early compound. What was behind? What was any role in the identical impeachment? So there are a lot of things that coming out and
they say Ellen behind it.
No, any supporter for the team all for the team group meeting always held in Ellen compound. You understand? So to me, something is not going down with another leader. This is why we are seeing the team, they whole sudden get going that kind of way. But the leader was not supporting the impeachment for Antikofa from the beginning. But when the constant meeting began to be held in Ellen compound, something began to turn around. But what I really call for tonight, the politics can sometimes we can be on the politics sometimes. There are some good things that happen in our country, we don't discuss it. The US government is getting it same for the GSC today, and they signed 5-year contract with the GSC. That our auditor in Liberia, they will be going every year. They will be going they will be coming the state here for training. But all the important institutions in the country concerning money matter. And we don't talk about it. We only talk about politics. Sometimes don't take a day sometimes and look at the good side of the country sometimes because thousands of people listen to this station.
Okay, that was sometimes they think about it. I talk when I'm doing this thing. If I want to bring in some information, not talk politics, I talk on things that I know. I can't talk money. I don't know money business.
Yeah, so and I didn't think about today. That was something people they can come and say, think about today, auditor in the country today, international community can be able to recognize that they are not dying.
But yes, the thing, if you're President Baka supporter, don't be dancing. Because the whole people coming in, they're showing record. They're showing record of who moving money to where in Liberia. So they're leaking a lot of things. People, you think people say come to school for nothing? You coming here, you're sharing your record with them, and they know who got money and who doing what.
Yeah, the good thing that they say, the evil that made all day after that. Hey, can remember Joe Vieta, all the government that stole this and now in the possession, eh? The government said they're not rich, they're going to be. And one thing that today was they score on the squatter that somebody money they plan somebody account in America, one of the government official. We get it.
All right, thank you.
For the country to improve, it depends on you and myself, Mr. To.
Thank you.
That's the thing about our country sometimes. Thank you, Mr. To, for the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, folks. Samson to Labropa Real. We're gonna bring this show to an end now because I'm very much relaxed now. You know what? Tomorrow Friday. You know why getting ready. Small. I gotta go and inspect. I gotta go and inspect, man. You know what? So big you have to make it sure. But no, seriously, Jerry, let me come to you. At the extension of the extension part of this conflict here, I've always come to you and ask you to tie it from a security apparatus perspective. And you always say that this is not something we should take lightly because other people can use these kinds of opportunity to derail our peace. It might not come from within, but we have to be very careful, and you always tie this here. So there we are. And within it, until this situation is over, every closing that I will ask you to close for me, please tie it within the national security perspective, please.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
hear
you,
from
sir.
you, sir. And then Terry tonight will take us home. Not to pray, but just to take us home. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. There's something called COM, C-O-M, in criminal justice. It's called COM. Or whatever you want to put it. Course, opportunity, and motivation. In order for you to commit a crime, you must first of all have the cause. And when you have that cause, that will drive you to go and commit that crime. That you want to commit that crime. What is it that you want to commit that crime for? Let's take, for example, the guy who shot the CEO or what place is there in New York the other day. He have a cause because he felt that they were marginalized or they were disfranchised, so he wanted to get rid of the CEO. The second thing you got to take into consideration, opportunity. He had an opportunity to do the crime that he had committed. The last thing he did was the motivation. He had the motivation to get up, to drive from, we say, Philadelphia, to come all the way on to New York to commit a crime. Here's what I want to say. This thing gave people opportunity and gave them the cause to do some heinous thing in our country, especially with our security. With our security. And we have to be very careful. We've got to be very mindful what is going on in our country. It is not in the best interest of the country, our security. They are underpaid. Look, 5 EPS or 4 EPS was suspended for soliciting for bribery sake. Police officer went to a hotel. Get there. People didn't let go busy on the show. I'll tell you, it's over.
I gotta say, everybody talk about now. She said, because I Terry, I said, I'm not asking the president. God can't even hear Terry again. Said. Go ahead, Jerry.
And Mr. Two, I mean, somehow we have spent our entire life in law enforcement and security. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Our airspace is open. Open airspace. Maybe you never thought about it. We got open airspace. Our airspace is not restricted.
Because you don't have the ability to enforce any restriction.
Okay. You see, that's my point. So anybody can land, Bravo Fee, Spring Speed, or wherever we got near airport. We even know what coming and what going. So we are living by the mercies of God. It's scary. Someone who started it in every day our brain is cracking. What are we doing? Open airspace. Open airspace. Anybody can land. What am I bringing airspace into it? That's the responsibility of the defense. So how do we respond to this thing? Look, what's going on? We pray to God that the army will be disciplined enough not to do anything heinous. Look, what happened prior to the election? We can't disclose. With the chief of staff, we can't disclose. Mr. To, if you can recall, we can't disclose. With the chief of staff and we can't disclose. So it is time for us to start thinking, to start treating security business very seriously. Let me close by this. I will throw it out there. It is time for us to create a cabinet position in the Ministry of Defense that will have a Director of Intelligence at the Ministry of Defense, so that it will be counter to that of an NSA, because NSA is the only intelligence department that we have in the Republic of Liberia, and there's no counter to wherever NSA say, I say, so we need to have within the Security Council, we need to have a minister, a ministry position, a cabinet position within the Ministry of Defense that will counter with our military. We got G2, but G2 fine, but G2 we need to raise it to the cabinet level. That will be called the National Defense or National Defense, Intelligence Defense, anyway, wherever you want to put it. But we need to create a position, that cabinet position within the Ministry of Defense that will be responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Terry, close it for us, please.
You're gonna pray for
thank
us.
you, thank you, Labor, for the show. The people say God can hear my prayer, so
No, but who are they to determine between you and your God? Eh?
yeah. So, but however, Richard Kuhn, President Boka, you got your speaker that you wanted now, so we don't want excuses. You wanted a speaker, you got him. Whether that by full speaker, that half speaker, that almost to be speaker,
or that left-hand speaker,
or that left-hand speaker, Tabata speaker, you got the Tabata speaker now. So we don't want any excuse in the next 2 years to 3 years. We want no excuse from Rescue Agenda. You force us with it, man. The Liberian people will give it to you. They will not cause insurrection. There will be no destruction to nothing. We will see what you want to do with us. Just how we give President we had the chance to do what he wanted to do for 6 years. So we don't want excuse. But my advice to Richard Kuhn is that reconcile the place, reconcile the legislature. Do not come with aggression and start suspending people. That is not how leadership works. If you are afraid that the people will remove you, make sure you meet their demands. Every representative in our house went there for their constituent. They went to represent the district. They went to fight for the district. Give them the thing they need that will be able to help them for the district. And I can promise you, you will be speaker for the next 5 years. But if you don't do that, these people will remove you within 1 year. Make it easy for them. Do not make the burden hard for them, or else you will struggle. Lastly, there is the LTA, something going on, the LTA, wherein the government, I don't know what kind of regulation they put into place, that they have not been able to fully explain to the Liberian people. This regulation have dropped megabytes and all of that. Right now, internet is life in the whole entire world. So you got to be careful what you're doing. If you're cutting down some things, let the public know why you are doing these things. Because people live on the internet now. Even when the people ain't get food, but once they can go on the internet, they see something funny, they will laugh. They hear someone talk, they listening to what's going on in the country. But when you start squeezing down on the people megabyte, what you're doing is that you're telling them that we don't want you to be on the internet because of politics and the government. That does not look good. But I want to believe that even in America here, so most people are paying $65 for the phone service, which provide them internet for the whole month. So internet coverage is expensive, but you have to be able to tell the people the reason why you have increased the tariff on those communication company, that the Cellcom and Lone Star, for the prices, for them to change the prices because of the increase of the tariff, because you want to generate revenue. You have to tell the people, or else when the people get to know the propaganda in it, they will cause problem for your government. Thank you very much, David, for the night. You're muted. You muted yourself. Or Labor, you muted yourself. Yeah.
I do that all the time, muted, and I'll be talking. Again, folks, Samson to Labrador Public Radio. We're here every night. Thank you to Terry. Thanks to Jerry for joining us tonight. And we will do our best here as usual. You don't have to agree with us, but we'll come here to have conversation with you as well. My closing will be, Jerry and Terry, my closing will be, Unity Party and President Baka continue to put their foot in their mouths. And they need to do the best they can. Because this thing, on a very serious note, I'm just making fun here, but on a very serious note, this thing will hurt President Baka at the end. Because people brought him to this position to make sure these kinds of things don't happen. Not only did they believe in him, but they knew that he been in the government so long that he has the ability to solve problems. This is another problem. His agenda is not being talked about. The road, as I said, the road they're building from Second Pier all the way to Tapeta, nobody talking about it.
Thank you.
We're not even talking about it. All of the good things that are happening with the people in the Washington, D.C., that should be the topic for the whole 1 week. Because that's never happened before. I've not heard of it before. And the people are trusting your government to deal with it. But that's not being discussed because of this thing here. Rachel Kuno put his left hand up. So this is just completely, this is what I call unforced error that the CDC used to make all the time. And now the Unity Party and President Baka continue. And it's only happening because President Baka has been put in a bubble. The President Baka we saw during campaign, the President Baka that was campaigning, telling the Liberian people the truth of everything that is happening. When I come in, we will not do this. When I come in, this is not going to be business as usual. And we see business as usual. That means President Baka is in a bubble. But we will pray, and hopefully God will hear our prayer, and President Baka will get out of the bubble. But this thing here, I'm hoping that the Supreme Court, whatever way they're going to rule, but it's not over yet. Because the main thing that will come is as to what are those people being suspended and threatening expulsion, as to what are they were giving except to be suspended.
Yes.
Because the rule that they are using to suspend them is enforceable. Because their action was done in the House of Representatives. And the Constitution clearly states that your action cannot be punished as long as you do those things on the floor of the Republic of Liberia Representative.
No, that means the government can arrest you, but your action can be punished per the rule of the representative.
No. Your action. Not they don't just say arrest, punish. They use the word go there. You will find it. They will tell you. Okay, so you can't. Your action cannot be. I don't call it. Take you to court because of that. Arrest you. That's punishment. Arresting them, you're being punished. Arrest you, try you, or convict you based on your statement. If they convict you, you're punished already. So that punishment, I just wrap everything up. I don't know English, but I know total English. So, but the point here is this. This is not over yet. President Baka have to be very careful. Liberia, after this election, Liberia is divided. It will not take much. You heard that other young man who served as deputy minister at labor, intellectual, intelligent young man, very smart young man, to be so angry on Spoon and say those kinds of words that I'm not going to repeat here. It will not take much. People are hungry already. You're going ride a BB car. Some guy was telling you the other day that they counted car, almost big cars of the president. It's convoy now. President Baka, convoy, you got 6-7 cars in your convoy. Who's riding those things? Where the gas coming from? It will not take much to have a serious problem in our country. We have to watch what we say. We have to watch what we do. We have to watch ourselves. Let's follow the rules. Because if you follow the rules, you're bringing justice to the people. If you follow the rules, you bring in justice. Food, there's so many justice. Your food justice, their medical justice, their justice, whatever justice, it's justice. You can't have it if we have Richard Kuhn putting his left hand up and claiming to be speaker. And then we're going to allow that to pass.
That Momo speaker.
Yeah, we're going to have that to pass. And President Baka, you expect people not going to see you with Richard Kuhn sitting behind you while you're giving a speech to the Liberian people. And most likely, you will talk about security of the country because of what happened recently with Guinea. You will talk about food security in the country, having Richard Kuhn sitting behind you. Who's going to trust your statement? Who's going to look at it seriously? These are things we're talking about. Richard Kuhn, Richard Kun could have been a serious speaker. Remove Flanty Kofa, Richard Kun will be elected and he becomes speaker. But not through the back door. Terry, I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight. Jerry, as usual, co-host.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. We don't agree on many things, and that's what it's supposed to be. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me tonight, guiding all of the things that were being stated here and taking me out of the hole again tonight. You are now the new rescue of LPR. That other man, yeah. Well, other man, one thing you'll notice, Sonero, the Evans, the water cutter, then they don't call you. But wait tomorrow when Mr. So call in, that the time they will call the old man, he's so inept, the old man can't do nothing. The old man can't do nothing, leading you.
They will cut that part when you say you come in John CDC.
Oh, yeah, they let them play. They can play. I don't care. But the point is, the first thing is, that man battery will die on you. Okay. The battery die you 1 year over now. Hey, the man be sleeping hot there. Okay. The man not sleeping, he doing work. You know? Those are the kind of things. But you will hear it tomorrow. Ever will come in here be speaking like he ever Presley. You know that the president, that man, you know, he's speaking a Siri like he's somebody from how do you call it? From Tennessee. You know, the president, that kind of president, he doesn't deserve to be in president in the Republic of Liberia. You know, and we're gonna sit down here. Now Terry is a new lawyer of the place. Then he water cutter. That kind of thing, that president we got there, he's useless. That president we got, he can't go nowhere. All kinds of things. You hear it tonight? No. Tomorrow, they will come out here and that's their voice. There's some kind of bird singing in total. The bird behind the house. Woo, 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 woo. You not hear it, right? They will come tomorrow. We'll be here.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you.
Good night.
All right.
Good night, Jerry.
Good night.
Oh, my goodness. Again, folks, Samson told that I'm having fun already. And we'll be here tomorrow, Mr. Social. IT, coming, Tawatai, coming. We'll be here tomorrow. Yesterday, he brought all the conservative. In Liberian conservative, he brought them on LPR yesterday. I'm like, where are these people coming from? Where are these people coming from? You think this is a conservative show? This is a liberal show. You can bring all the conservative. That's why I pour and then one play, boom, I lock them up. Samson told liberal public, the man who has the ability to respect himself, the man who has the ability to believe in himself. Thank God first. God first, God first, God first. Folks, thank you, my Esther. Thank you again tonight. Fatima, thank you very much. Jesus coming soon. Beware, Prince. Thank you for joining us. Mana, thank you, guys. Thank you very much for everything you do and your writing and thing. We respect it. Thank you very much. We'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.
Ateito, ateito, ateito. are looking